What up, YouTube? It's Steven. Welcome back. Alright, so, you know, Amara La Negra has been getting really popular, right? She's been trending for a minute. A lot of people have been checking for her since Love and Hip Hop Miami has aired its first episode. You know, a lot of people are like kind of like rooting for her. And I understand that. Especially I understand brown skin and dark skin black women rooting for her because they feel like they can see themselves in her. They feel like she represents them, and I understand that. Um, Although I do think this kind of is a bit reflective of the problem that we have in the community when it comes to um, media representation of brown and dark-skinned black women. But I'll get to that a little later. Um, but I do kind of want to speak on a couple of things that I noticed and just a couple of vibes that I've been getting from Amara La Negra, right? I think one is it's kind of like, I feel like she's still kind of maybe working through her own anti-blackness, like her own internalized anti-blackness, which, okay, that's not a crime, of course, right? Because I think we all are working through some form of it to an extent. So I don't hold that against her, but I think if we're like uplifting her to be like, the black queen, who represents all black women, kind of like, really putting her on this high up pedestal, she may end up falling off of this pedestal because of her internalized anti-blackness may come into play at some point or another, which I think ultimately, the brown skin and dark skin women may be setting themselves up for a L to an extent. That's one reason. But again, I don't hold that personally against her. If that was just it, then, perhaps I can let some things slide and not even make this video. But there's a bit more, though. There was this one comment that came into play. First of all, her music videos that I've seen, a couple of them, while she does look, very nice, very beautiful, she kind of tends to maybe be portraying herself a little bit as kind of like a hoe. And I kind of don't know why she want to do that in her videos. But then again, some people may be like, well, how come, Amber Rose and Cardi B can do it? Okay, yeah, I kind of get that, but we want, because it's like we want Amara La Negra to be not seen in the light that we may see Amber Rose or Cardi B. We kind of want her to be seen in a more elevated light, right? Kind of like being the side chick for some, white / white passing Dominican man. It's not the best look, right? Not the best look. I know some people are going to be pissed and angry with this video. This video isn't meant to come for anybody in particular. Well, let me rephrase that. I say this video isn't meant to come for brown and dark-skinned women. It's not. But it's just a few things I kind of just want to put out there. And kind of like her, her image does seem somewhat gimmicky. A little bit. Honestly, it seems like it's purely based on just being black and a Latina. And I know that should be a part of her image. I can understand that, but I feel like it should be a bit more to her image than just being, an Afro-Latina. Also, in the video, as I mentioned, her love interest is, a white / white passing Dominican man, right? Or, white passing Latino, whatever, right? And someone on Twitter or Instagram or whatever had asked about it, and she had responded with, let me see if I can pull it up right quick. Something of the following, all right? She was like, oh, So someone asked her the question like, "Oh, why did you have like a white male love interest in your video?" Right? Because they kind of like perhaps maybe seeing her as like the Black Queen, right? The Black Queens of Black Queens, right? So it's like, hey, why you ain't got a Black King, you know? Which let's get into this, all right? So she says, Amara La Negra responds to that by saying, he is Dominican, just like me, right? As if there's no difference between them, right? As if the whole playing field is completely leveled and, you know, it's just all good in the hood, right? So she says, he is Dominican just like me. Don't start that don't start this white man, black man thing. Love has no color, right? So, that comment right there it kind of rubbed me the wrong way to hear something like that, right? And it kind of does seem to be a bit reflective of her mentality. But also notice, though, on the Love and Hip Hop Miami premiere, she had said something to the extent of, oh, not all Latinas look like J-Lo, Shakira, and Sofia Vergara, right? Notice. So she does see a difference, right? When it is something that affects her negatively, she can see the difference, it seems, right? Because she knows that she's not being treated like the Latinas who look like Sophia, Jennifer, and Shakira. She knows that. She's very aware of that, right? But in this situation, she's saying like, oh, this Dominican white man or white passing man looks like they're the same, basically. Like, oh, they're the same race, you know, and that love has no color, right? That's not something that you want to kind of be hearing from, someone people who, they're kind of like posturing her to be pro-black. And she's somewhat presenting herself and posturing herself as pro-black. That's not what I want to hear. And I don't think that's what a lot of people really want to hear. But I feel like because brown skin and dark skinned women are really, unfortunately, desperate for someone like Amara to represent them in the media, who seems like really, awesome, good looking, has their ish together, kind of more or less. And, it's the person that Amara is. I feel like they're going to overlook this, right? Sometimes I think that's what we do. We kind of overlook things because we really want this person to be the person that we want them to be, right? In relationships, we kind of can sometimes do this, all right? Putting, the blinders on and being blind to certain things, ignoring certain things, right? We do this in a lot of aspects of our lives, right? Not just this situation here. And I think it goes across the board. In this situation, I do think it would be more so like the brown skin, dark skin, black women. And I understand why, So like I said, this video isn't me coming at, brown skin and dark skin women, and trying to, shame them or anything. It's more just like, hey, this is something that you may want to consider, you know, FYI, just so you know, etc., right? And low key, I also kind of feel like if she does end up getting this, quote unquote Latino acceptance or mainstream Latino acceptance, quote unquote, she may just end up ditching kind of like the whole, Black Queen persona at one point or another. And I know some people are like, well, that's speculation. We don't know that to be true. Again, that's true. We don't. But it kind of, that seems the vibe where it's coming at. Where it's like, let's say if Amara La Negra was accepted as being just like J-Lo, just like Shakira, just like Sophia, right? Do you think she would be here? You think? Hmm. Yeah, and I know this, this video is probably gonna get some thumbs down. And it's gonna rub some people the wrong way. You know, especially some brown and dark skinned women the wrong way. It's not meant to do that. As I've stated a few times in this video, I've been giving that disclaimer throughout this video. All right, it's just me being concerned. You know, and just thinking that you might be setting yourself up for a fail. It's ultimately just don't put too much stock into her, right? Just don't expect too much out of her, honestly. Because I think if you do, you're going to end up being disappointed. I think that's ultimately where I'm coming from with this video. Is just don't expect too much. Don't expect her to be like the black queen, riding for black women, all that good stuff. Because I think you may be setting yourself up for a L. Setting yourself up for a fail, right? Yeah. And I don't hold any, animosity or grudges or anything toward the people who do ride for Amara. I understand why they're doing that. And as well, I don't hold anything against people who don't ride for her, you know, as long as it isn't just because, like, oh, she black, If it's like based on a legitimate reason, then I don't have anything against that because I think there are legitimate reasons to ride for her and to not ride for her, right? So yeah, that's all I gotta say for the moment. So thanks for watching, you guys. Feel free to comment. You know, feel free to give me some feedback and let me know what you think. Am I being just some salty Negro hater or something? You think I got a point? Or you think it's a mixture of both? Let's see. Let me know in the comments section. Until then, adios and goodbye for now.